So just in case you didn't know, an angry Miles Sanders runs faster. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Hope you guys are doing well. So the Eagles were back for day 3 of practice. And in this practice, we found out one thing. An angry Miles Sanders runs faster. He runs faster. And Miles wasn't too happy today, and he let everybody know it. Now, we're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, make sure if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you know the deal. Just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Now, my man Miles Sanders. Okay, I have been a huge fan of Miles Sanders. I thought it was a great pick. I like Miles Sanders. I really do. And yesterday, he kind of went through a lot of crap because he had to hear from the media, from everybody, that he got second team reps, okay? And he did not forget it. He let everybody know. Now, I'll say this. We talked about this on my channel yesterday in 2 separate videos. The fact that Miles was getting second team reps didn't concern me too much. I said, let's see what the next day brings, or the next day, because a lot of times coaches switch things up the way that they do things, and it just works out that way. So I didn't think it was a big deal, right? So, of course, today comes, and we start practice, and guess what? Miles is getting first team reps. Now, I want to talk a little bit more, but let's go over this injury report really quick, because once again, the Eagles so far this training camp are basically healthy. I don't remember this team being this healthy in a training camp in a long time. So here's the injury report. 3 Eagles will not practice today. Zach Pascal, illness. He's still got food poisoning. Carrick Wheatfall, COVID progression. And the first real injury of camp, Milton Williams with an elbow. So hopefully Milton Williams is okay. I mean, we hope. But he's got an elbow injury, and I don't know the extent of it, but he's really the first player to be put on that injury report. So as practice started, the first drill, Miles Sanders explosively, he bangs out a long run. Bangs out. You know what I mean? Bangs out a long run. Nick Sirianni turns to the media and he shouts, he's in with the first team today. Now, they asked Miles Sanders about this earlier. At least he made comments. Somebody asked what Miles aims for entering his 4th season. And Miles said, get the respect that I deserve. And somebody said, well, what's it look like? He says, don't write articles about me being on the second team. That's my man. That's my man, Miles Sanders. That's my man. I love hearing that. I love hearing it. Don't write articles about me being with second team because I do reps one day with him. That's what I'm talking about. I love Miles. Miles Sanders is on a contract year. He's motivated. He wants his respect. He's going to go get it. Miles Sanders going to have a monster year. Going to have a big year. No question about it. Okay? None. And I got to tell you, I think maybe the fact that happened yesterday, maybe that's good for Miles. Maybe that gets him extra focused, extra tuned in to what's going on, and I'm totally okay with that. Okay, I think that's a great thing. Now, will Miles be the running back number 1? Yeah, most likely. I don't think that's going to change. You know, I would have been more concerned about him being second team if we're talking like a week of practice and he's always with the second team and he's not coming off of it. But it was just one day, not a big deal. I like Miles. Miles, go get your respect, buddy. Go get it. You deserve it. Go get it. You want it. Go get it. Now, As far as the offense as a whole, it was kind of up and down. It looks like the defense may be a little bit ahead of the offense. Jalen Hurts made some really great passes. There were some overthrows to Quez Watkins, some really beautiful throws to DeVante Smith, A.J. Brown. It was a bit up and down. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, it's practice. So it's not. It is what it is, and we're all hearing about the battle between Darius Slay and AJ Brown. They're going at it at camp. Okay, now there are people talking some nonsense yesterday, but I don't believe any of it. I don't think any of it was true. Sorry, Mark Holmes, but they are battling, and it's been a battle, and at times AJ Brown has out-muscled Darius Slay, but hey, listen, iron sharpens iron, you know what I'm saying? I will say this, though. We know how good Darius Slay is, but cornerback James Bradberry is having a great start to camp. And when he has been going up against A.J. Brown, he has done a great thing. Here was an observation today. New cornerback James Bradberry has had a strong camp to date. His size and physicality has been an asset when covering A.J. Brown. He locked him up for the most part on Saturday and came up with a pass breakup on a pass to Brown deep downfield. Having James Bradberry have a strong camp is really good, right? I think James Bradberry is borderline cornerback one. He had all fear with the Giants last year, but a lot of Giant fans wanted him back. But I think he's a really, really good number two, okay? So I think this is kind of a cool thing. Also, some interesting notes, like these linebackers and the battles going on with linebackers sound great. I think this is the strongest group, or we'll say highest potential of linebackers since back in the 90s. I really think so. I mean, you can go back to the Trotter days and stuff like that. But when Trotter came back to the Eagles in 2004, you have to remember he came in and he didn't start half the year. They had Mark Seminow. I think that this team, these linebackers, have the potential to be really, really good. And what's very nice is we're hearing how good T.J. Edwards has played. I mean, T.J. Edwards looks like he's, at this point, it's early, he's holding off anybody else from taking his spot. Okay, he looks really strong. And we're hearing good things about Davion Taylor coming back from a knee injury. Here it was said today, Davion Taylor, coming off knee injury, has impressed through 3 practices and got some work with the first team today. T.J. Edwards has been active as well. He had a pass breakup during competitive period late in practice on a hurt sprint out throw to Brown. So both these guys have been good. And I should also say you had Corey Davis. Why do I always say Corey Davis? Jordan Davis. You can't confuse the two. Dingbat. But Jordan Davis, he got first team reps today. He had a strong practice today. Now, I really like judging the defensive line, offensive line, when they're really banging and they're hitting and they're in live contact. But, yeah, listen, anytime you can hear, hey, your rookie is playing pretty good, doing pretty good, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So I expect big things from Jordan Davis today. I really do. I really, really do. There is one. Look, there were a couple injuries today we have to mention. John Hightower went down for a little bit. He did get up, and then Calcaterra, however you want to say him, he got hurt as well, and this concerns me a little bit. All right, you already have Richard Rodgers on physically unable to perform. You already have Tyree Jackson physically unable to perform. You have Stahl, who from most part we've heard decent, okay things about Stahl so far. But I still think you have a giant question at your tight end too, and I was really hoping that Calcaterra is going to be the guy. So hopefully, and I don't know at this point, there has been nobody saying anything about the extent of his injury or anything like that. But you gotta have that kid come out and be a part of his team. I really think he needs to win that job. I'm really hoping that he wins that tight end number 2 spot. But he got injured, and I still think that free agency is a place where the Eagles should look to add another tight end. I know they just added one, but I would even add another one. I really would. And if he's injured or if it's significant, then I think you definitely have to go out and add another tight end. I think you're going to have to do that. Because I don't trust Whiteside. I don't trust Stahl. I don't trust Richard Rodgers can stay healthy. And then Tyree Jackson, well, I mean, that's a big if because he's coming off an injury. So it's something to keep in mind, something to watch out for. No question about it. Another guy I want to talk really quick about is Andre Shashari. Now, I don't think I'm saying his name right. I always screw it up. All right? But this kid, Andre, over the last few days, has done nothing but make plays. He's done nothing but make plays. And I think you got to look at this kid and say, man, maybe he can be a really good backup depth piece for the Eagles. He's a very good special teams player, but can he contribute to the defense? Well, so far, he's had a hell of a camp. And when you look at this secondary, man, when you look at these guys, I think the sky's the limit. Slay, Avante Maddox, Bradberry. We've heard good things about all these guys so far. Okay, you got Tart, Anthony Harris, Epps. Epps has looked pretty good so far at camp too. So this has a chance to be a very good defense, a very, very good defense. And it's all going to be predicated, though. I mean, let's face it, it's always going to be predicated on that defensive line. You got to get to the quarterback. You don't get to the quarterback, I don't care what your secondary is, who's back there, you're going to have problems. You got to get to the quarterback. And speaking of the defensive line, let's talk a little bit about Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham looks really good, okay? This was a huge concern of mine coming into camp because, you always hear, knee injuries are bad, but man, that Achilles, you don't want that Achilles, especially in your 30s. You get that Achilles in your 30s, in the past, it's pretty much a career ender, okay? But we got Brandon Graham back, no limitations, and by all accounts, he looks good. He looks good. And we lost so much. Let me tell you, when Brandon Graham got hurt last year, and basically, his season was done against San Francisco, after that, this defense lost a huge piece of its soul. I mean, he's the guy that gets everybody going. He's the guy that talks trash. But he was the soul of that defense. And they lost him last year. That was a big loss last year. So this year, we get Brandon Graham back, and right now he's full go. I think that is huge for the Eagles. Just his presence alone is big for us. And if he's out there and he can actually make plays, and let's say he can get 7 to 9 sacks next year, that would be huge, right? Because I like I said before, Brandon Graham, I think 7 to 8, 9 sacks. Josh Sweat, 7 to 9 sacks. And then Hassan Reddick has to have double-digit sacks. Has to. And I will say this because there's a lot of talk about him dropping back into coverage. We know he's going to do that. That was always the plan. It just can't be so much so that you're taking away from this guy going after the quarterback. He's got to get double-digit sacks as well. So it'll be interesting. A reminder, tonight, Philly Shakedown Podcast, 9 Eastern Time, 6 Pacific. Come hang out with us. It's going to be episode number 2. Lot to talk about with camp, and maybe we'll get some injury updates. I don't know if they even do that during training camp, but there'll be a lot to talk about. So come hang out with us later on. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. And I had this crazy dream last night, right? I'm sitting there and watching the Eagles, and it's the Eagles, Minnesota. I don't know why it was a Minnesota game, but it was a Minnesota game on Monday Night Football, and DeVante Smith went off. DeVante Smith, I mean, he went off. And it was like the third quarter, he had 215 yards, like 10 catches, a couple touchdowns. This dream was vivid, clear as day. I was like, wow, this thing could be true. Sometimes I can predict the future. I dreamt of Zach Ertz in an Arizona Cardinals uniform. Happened. I'm telling you what, when the Eagles play the Vikings, I am going to bet that I'm going to put bets that DeVante Smith is going to go off because I think it's coming to pass. Denzel Washington